Fly me to the moon. What's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host. Yeah, and that's right, just sitting in the little old humble office. No green screen for me today. Just an intimate session between me and you, baby girls. So strap yourselves in, and I'll do the Ash Ketchum here because that's annoying me. And yeah, we're going to talk about Maurizio Pochettino, any other gaffer, the scenario of Chelsea Football Club. I even put on a shirt for you today that apparently isn't clean. I know it's just got some crap on it. Anyway, yes, we're going to discuss the situation with Graham Potter and Maurizio Pochettino, and or anyone else you really want to include in this Chelsea managerial discussion, where Chelsea are and what's going to happen in the future. So thanks for joining me. It's lovely to see you here on the channel, as per usual. Do you come here often, etc., etc. Thank you for dropping a like on the video. Fleeting second. And you can support the content by subscribing, etc., etc. And I would always urge you to comment as you go. If there's something you agree with that I say, or indeed disagree with, which has been known to happen, comment as we go. Alright then. So Graham Bailey reported that Maurizio Pochettino has turned down a approach from Chelsea to replace Graham Potter. Now, people are contesting this, saying it is not true. Which I kind of believe. Surely I don't. Let me set my stall out. Let me assert my position to you, which you may have heard me say before, but I maintain I do not want Maurizio Pochettino. It is not 2016. I'm pretty sure I would have said that on the channel before. I really need to sneeze, but I'm gonna let it flow. There's nothing worse than missing a sneeze. I had the energy in my nose and my face, but I didn't deem it enough to try and follow. So I had to let it go. And that's the saddest thing when you have to let it go. Graham Bailey from 90 Min, he said this, that Chelsea approached him and he said no. Firstly, I don't think he'd say no. And that's not me being like a egotistical, entitled Chelsea fan. It is obviously living in Southwest London, the best prime real estate in England, in the best league in the world, as well as clearly ambitious owners that are willing to spend, as well as a ridiculously exciting, well-talented squad that you'd have to say is better behaved than that of that PSG squad he was managing. Hot dog! What a job that you could agree to. But Cy Phillips, who I know has her connections, he says this is nonsense. However, according to information given by sources to us, we understand the club have made no approaches for any potential new managers recently. So this makes sense. It makes sense because all that we're hearing from Matt Law, from The Athletic, from Nizar Kinsella, or loads of different people, like David Ornstein, the best connected journalists and broadcasters, public, whatever, all the important and well-connected people have not commented on this. And yes, they're all saying that they would say otherwise. Like I said, I don't think Poch would turn down Chelsea. He's out of work. Chelsea's one of the most exciting prospects. Of course, you've got the microscope over you at the moment, but in terms of it can only, things can only get better in the middle of the table with one of the best squads in the world. You get paid a lot of money and you will be backed. So I don't think it's true. And there you go. So the reason why I don't want Maurizio Pochettino is because I don't think he's that great. I think he was very good. He was in a great relationship with Tottenham Hotspur, and it worked, and they overachieved. Maybe he could finally turn Kai Havertz into the second striker that he did with Dele Alli. Scoring loads of goals, but I think he did a really poor job at Paris Saint-Germain with a really talented squad. I just don't think I think he's just yesterday's news. I know he's young, and maybe he'll prove me wrong. And I don't know if there is Tottenham bias coursing through my veins here, but I just don't want him, man. I just never I never really had a hard on for like this kind of like management, this kind of like, oh yeah, plays attractive. It's just something a bit like, oh yeah, they play attractive football, but it's not about winning things. They don't like winning stuff. They just like, win the hearts of the neutrals, which was just nonsense. And it just seems so un-Chelsea. And many of you might be like, Yannick, Graham Potter, and fair enough for making that comparison. But at least, I see, like, when I looked at Graham Potter, what he was doing with Brighton last season and where he left them, and, obviously the scope for working with everyone, I thought there was, I still think to a degree, there is room for that trajectory to improve in this current landscape. I just don't think what I've seen from Pochettino the last few years, it will work. And also, Zidane, I spoke about Zidane, dropping Zidane in, what's that going to do? Like, he won 3 Champions Leagues. He's a Galactico whisperer. He had Benzema and prime Cristiano Ronaldo banging the goal, and prime Modric, whatever. He had a well-functioning super squad that knew how to play with each other, and he got the best out of them because he was a Galactico whisperer. I don't think dropping Zinedine Zidane into this Chelsea squad with all this pit players in dysfunction. Some people tell me you can speak English. I don't think, because someone who said he could speak English, someone on ESPN. I don't think he can speak English. I've watched interviews of him not very long ago by English people with translators and stuff, and yeah, I've never heard Zidane speak English. Il parle français, pas l'anglais, hein? I don't know, man. And I'm half French. I love Zidane. I think he's freaking cool for obvious reasons. Because I'm French, and he's one of the best footballers of all time. I don't want him to come to... It's just vibes. People are reaching out for vibes. Oh, yeah, Zidane at Chelsea, a big, sexy name. I keep saying it. I'm going freaking mad saying it. It's no longer about vibes. We're not in the Abramovich era when we have a team that looks after itself and you just bring in big sexy names and, it's all about blockbuster high profile stuff, because it doesn't work, dude. You need infrastructure, and we've obviously built. Let's just park Graham Potter. Hopefully many of you will just want Graham Potter out, and that's fine, entitled to that. But I would like to think that the majority of you, if not all of you, are hopefully very happy that the new Chelsea ownership are building an infrastructure at the club. Right? Can we agree on that? Can we all shake hands on that? Can we? Because that's what we've needed for a long, long time. That's what, is conducive to the sort of Liverpool and Man City success recently in the Premier League and indeed, Champions League, whatever, for Liverpool and stuff. And vibes will no longer carry us over the line. So if we can all agree on that, great. Now, Zinedine Zidane, and for them, that infrastructure is mandatory, what is mandatory for that infrastructure is for them to work with the first team coach well. Now, I don't think necessarily that someone like a Zidane is going to come in. Yes, it works. They saw the perfect opportunity and the perfect candidate in a figure like Graham Potter to do that. And, they looked at the data, the analysis, and went, right, who is a good young coach who's trending in the right direction? That looks like he will get better. That looks like he can manage football matches well and is intelligent in the Premier League. Graham Potter. He turned down the Tottenham job not so long ago for a lot of money, but he's been convinced to join Chelsea. That's why they got him. But it's been terrible. It's been turgid, and I can't put the farm on him staying and maybe indeed not even getting sacked this season, depending on how things go. I think the owners want to back their gaffer as much as possible, and seemingly regardless, we've reported here, David Ornstein says the owners want to judge Graham Potter on years at Chelsea, not months. And, they want to see him with at least one pre-season and at least another transfer window to give him the opportunity to build a squad and get rid of the players that perhaps aren't the best influence. But you got to win some football matches. I mean, you do, and it's been really, really poor. We have been in the trenches. Ladies and gentlemen, look, it wasn't always that bad as well. We started well. We had 5 wins. At some point we had 5 wins in a row, or rather, we were on a winning run. And, that was when we had a much less, like a strong squad. We've got a much stronger squad now. I'm going to quickly just get this picture up to show you, to give you context from the October run, because it really is, not really important, but it just adds context. Let me show you. So this was, if my computer loops. Here we go, mate. Just have a look. Okay, don't know why it's down there, but we'll move up. So here we go. This is in October, when we had a really, not as good and talented squad now. Obviously, we beat Palace away, which, at the time, Palace were going well under Vieira. We absolutely smashed Milan 3-0. Wolves, of course, we stuck 3 past. And I think they had quite a good defence at that point. And then, of course, we went 2-0 away at Milan and 2-0 away at Villa, conceding only 1 goal in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Of course, we didn't have Badia Sheelan, who looked really, really accomplished. I think we must have still been playing Koulibaly at that point. I would be interested to see if we're still playing a back 3 at that point. Anyway, point being, we've got a much better squad than we do now than we did then. It is there. It's not like he came in and we couldn't do anything. And by all accounts, the reports suggest players aren't. There's conflicting reports coming out, and I think largely just to unsettle the club. People say players are unhappy behind the scenes, but that's apparently nonsense. That they are happy, they like the gaffer. He's not a soft touch behind the scenes, but they do like him. Yeah, look, I don't think we should sack him right now. Okay, I have supported Chelsea for a long time. I'm tired, bro. I'm just tired. I'm tired. I can't get... we got to eventually say, right, we're going to give this a crack through difficult times. I know people put in my social media comments, whether it's Instagram or YouTube, going, I've supported Chelsea for X amount of time. I'm not seeing this bad. I was like, well, you haven't supported them for that long then. Probably just because they're younger, so it's not their fault. But the point being, there's no solution right now to just can this dude and chuck someone else in. If anything... Even if it causes a better performance for 2 games or something, it could actually do more damage to the whole plan. And I'm not saying the whole Graham Potter plan. There could be someone else to just replace Graham Potter and it'll be fine. But you've got to find the right guy. You can't just drop some random in now, because it's just going to cause more problems than solutions in the long term. If Graham Potter has to go, and he may well do, even though at the moment I wouldn't count him, and that's just me. Don't judge me for my opinion. I won't judge you for yours. If he does go, then find someone really appropriate again. Use the data model that you want to use to make sure it lines up with your approach. To make sure it's, a viable option for, this new philosophy, this ethos, this project. I know this process, that dirty word that no one likes. Stick to your guns. Stick to what you want to do. And if that's Potter at the moment, or indeed if you sack Potter, something similar, something, that you want to do. Not just a frigging vibes, big name manager. It's just, I'm done. Look, if we get a couple of wins in the next few games, if we see some improvements, of course, Kante looks like he's going to be coming back. I was going to talk about that in a Chelsea news video, but that's something we generally have discussed quite a lot recently, that Kante should return, and it looks like he will resign. It's great news. Yeah, let me know what you think. I'm really, really interested in this. Hopefully a lot of people will calm down since the Southampton loss. Yeah, and many of you will just be Potter out regardless, and that's fine. But I think we should at least just give him the season. We're not going to get relegated. We're not going to get European football. We're not going to get in just someone random mid-season for 3 months that in a difficult scenario. Wait till the summer, take a deep breath, reflect, maybe get a couple of people out in the transfers. Hopefully give them a pre-season, seeing as we've committed a little bit. But if not, if a change has to happen, the landscape will dictate. We will see. I mean, Tuchel had to go, seemingly. There's reasons, apparently, for reasons why Tuchel had to go. He went. And this, if Potter does have to go, he will go as well. But we will see. Deep breaths, everybody. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing. Share the video. I went a bit Bale there. Bane, rather. Not Bale. Bale. Football. Very tired. More coffee for me then. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you on the next upload. Yeah, you. Hopefully I do. See ya.